make a change and I can take the pain. I'm gonna go down swinging. I get lost in the feeling. I'm gonna find my meaning. I can make.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got D-Man. We've got Megatron. Choose for you 728. Where is choose for you from? Don't quit, persevere. Mr. E. Good to see everybody in the house and a couple other lurkers. I need to preface this statement by saying he's absolutely right. If you don't talk to your ex for good, unless you have kids. In that case, you only keep the conversation about the kids, whether it be medical, educational, mental, whatever, dental. Other than that, you do not ask them about their lives. You do not care about their lives. But when it comes to a kid, you make sure you communicate only about the welfare and the benefit of the child. Other cases could be if you own a business together. You might have to see and talk to the ex about business dealings. Now that's kind of a lot more uncommon, but there are situations where you have to talk to your ex. Potentially if you own property and you're dividing property or liquidating assets, in that case, yes. But the run-of-the-mill ex, the ex that you're divorced from, she divorced you, she monkey branched, you do not talk to her. She is dead to you mentally, emotionally. There is no reason to talk to them. In fact, and when you talk to them, you just give them power. It's as simple as that. So many men continue to talk to their exes like they're friends. The whole thing, oh, I'm friends with my ex. It's great. We get along so well. It's so much better not being married, and we're great friends. No, there's no such thing as friendship after exes. You're done. It's as simple as that. Don't bathe in dirty bathwater, which is one of Rad's principles. Wolfgang Sigma is back. Good to see you. Happy Saturday to everybody. After this, I'm out on a bicycle ride. I'm going to do a 10-miler. Slam Cave is back. Good to see Slam. Check out Slam's channel as well. Keep you on standby so they can see the grass when it's greener on the other side. Women love to keep backups. And who is the best backup of all? The ex that got left. The girl that dumped the ex. As Tom Likas says, DTB. Dump that biatch. Big M is in the house, Rad. What if you are betrayed by your mother? I would probably not talk to my mother if she betrayed me. As the Bible says, honor her, but you don't have to talk to her. Right? That's a whole different world. There's a lot of men whose mothers have completely betrayed them, and that is unfortunate. Kenny is in the house. Good to see you, Kenny McCormick. Joara is back. Good to see you. Hopefully you got your HHR or you got a new ride. Sure you did. Mr. E says you can never forgive betrayal. No, you can't. Mysterio from Winnipeg. How did you navigate with your ex when your youngest graduate? Very difficult. I made it about my son. She sat at the very end. I sat at the opposite end, and we had the 3 kids between us. Very little eye contact, very little speaking. I was sitting next to my son, so it was fine. But I pondered that so much 2 weeks ago. Do I sit by myself? And then the kids, I just said, you know what? I'm going to eat it up. I'll be cordial. That's it. I treated her like a stranger, pretty much. Thanks for the question, Mysterio. Billy the Goat's in the house. Check out Billy the Goat's channel. Good to see you, brother. Ishi Banks. I'm in a pediatric emergency room watching this. Men go sit at the waiting area of an ED, which is an emergency department for those that don't know, or family court. That's real life. Stop giving these women your seats so easily. I bet Ishi sees a lot of divorced parents coming into the ER or a pediatric hospital, and that's when they talk to each other. But other than that, they're separate. Mouth Agape Ape is in the house. Check out Mouth's channel as well. Good to see you guys. Billy the Goat. Seriously, yesterday the ex's mom tried to hoover me. I've had that happen. Never go back to a woman or jobs once you're done. Well said. Never bathe in dirty bath water. It's interesting, people that go back to if they quit a job and they go back to it like 5 years later, that's another, no, when you quit something or you leave a relationship, you are done with that relationship. You are done with that person. That chapter has now closed, that is sealed, and it's burned to the ground. Dwar says, new Transformer is woke and ghetto. What a surprise. Transformers being woke for 300 Trebek. Some women like to keep in touch with exes. Yes, they do. Big M, you're absolutely right. And men fall for it. They don't want you back. They only want your attention and validation. What if your ex got some illness? Would you say, well, she has, and I have said nothing? Again, not my responsibility. Not my wife, not my girlfriend, not my partner, only a co-parent. I'm pretty hardcore when it comes to, I've been reached out the last couple weeks. I don't respond. Thanks for putting that up, D-Man. Good to see you, brother, as well. Don't Quit says, no giving her advice or being an emotional tampon. Don't be available like you once were. Yeah, if you're broken up, you're done. What are you going to do? And 80% of breakups are the women breaking up with the men. Men need to move on and consider that person dead. You know how I view it? This is how I view it. She's dead to me. She looks the same. She potentially talks the same, but she's completely dead. It's a brand new person. It's a clone. That's how I look at it. Stranger. Look and treat them as strangers. Now, if you see them in the street or driving and you made eye contact, they said hello, then you could probably just nod your head and move on. You just keep moving on. You don't need to be there and say anything. FJT is in the house. Last time I talked to an ex was when we broke up many years ago. We have nothing else to talk about, and now we can't be friends. That's the funny thing. FJT raises a great point. There's no such thing as friendships when you break up. People saying, I hear these couples that have kids, they were married, they break up, and they're the best of friends now. That's weird. Really? You're friends with someone you slept with, created life with, and now you're buddies? Now, if you're such great friends, go get back and be married. It's ridiculous. Well said, FJT. Good to see you, brother. I've seen a fight over a dying kid's body because the father showed up with his new woman, the foolish pride over the state of the kid. Is she? Oh, I'm sure that happens all the time. Is she? Poor kid. D-Man 50. There's Mr. Apes channel. Good to have that up. And link up FJT. I have no content. I just talk blank on your tubes. That's all right. Someday you'll have some. When I see couples anywhere, it makes me feel lonelier than ever. I don't love or like being alone, but I prefer to be alone and single. It's less stressful. Well, just remember, Kenny, a lot of those couples are unhappy. I would say 90% to 95%. Yeah, we got to get you guys making channels. If you participate, you have a voice. I've been reading Charles Bukowski lately. Hilarious red pill author. Got his vinyl record recently. Reading his shit live. Well said. Polska is in the house. Good to see Polska. I got your text the other day. Unfortunately, I was sleepy. I was in Denver for work this week. You got a $25 tip paying for your beer and his lunch. He's going for a PBR. No Bud Light here, folks. How about this? The dad that buys Bud Light at Target. Simp. Do you recommend a 20-hour-a-day fast? I think the 20 hours is the best one. I'm right now on an 18 right now. And after this, I'm going to go ride my bike. I think I have enough energy without taking like a Zip Fizz or getting some caffeine. But I would do 20s. 20s are great. 20s are probably the best. If you could do them 3 times a week, it'll be better than every day at 16 hours. Polska might buy your beer today. Polska can buy a couple. Actually, if he bought Bud Light, he could buy like 6 12-packs because they're on sale for $2. If not more, the cornerstone of any marriage is friendship. The marriage failed, so did the friendship. Well said, Mr. E. Well said. Well said. FJT's channel, good to see that. Transformers did check the PC boxes, like the visuals being 6 or G1 and 84. Well said. Our shit is back. Good to see you. Got to know your channel is put down. Now it's certain that the war again. Oh, it's so real, guys. You know what? I don't really give a damn at this point. I did my piece. I'm trying to get my videos from a guy in France named Sac AB. He's been a little busy, but we'll see if they come through. But you know what? We're here. We got a lot of channels, and Hammerhand did a stream yesterday with some big heavy hitters. He's doing his stream. Scotty does his stream. You know, Saunders, Polska does their streams. Brandon Trueblood does his streams every day. So there's always somebody to catch. Project AZ, good to see you. I am still in communication with my ex. We both share ownership with that. Yeah, there you go. If you have pets, if you have kids, and it's so well, you just keep it about the pet, or you keep it about the kid. If you own a business, which is more rare, then keep it only about business. But there is no emotional connection. There is no personal connection. There is no mental connection. There is no none of that shit. You don't ask them about their life. You don't care. And so many guys, they think, oh my gosh, my ex still loves me. She misses me. She's going to come back for me. You know, so many guys are in that fantasy state. Once you're done with them, you've got to be done. And I know there's guys that have frequented these channels that continue to think that their ex is going to come back. Oh, she's going to learn from her mistakes. I'm going to be more red pill. I'm going to be Mr. Tom Likas type. No, you're done. JJ MGTOW is here. Just found on your new channel. They can win the battle, but they can't win the war. Good to have you, JJ, back. Well said. We got some solid creators in this channel, in this chat right now. How about fasting on not looking at women at all? There you go. That's called a dopamine fast. There's people that do dopamine fast. They basically take all of what gives them dopamine, their cell phone out of the picture, their videos, TV, anything that makes them happy, they take out. They typically do a 2 or 3 day dopamine fast, which is basically laying around doing nothing. Rhino stream last night. There you go. Rad, did your ex try to use you after the breakup? Yes, tried to suck you back in. Mine this week, actually last week, tried to manipulate me. I don't respond. Why? My youngest has graduated. He's basically 18. And there's no reason. We're done. We're done. Thanks. Hit the road, Jack. Unless, here's my thing. Unless there's some sort of medical emergency with one of our children, then I don't need to care. But one of the other children can let me know. So I don't really need to hear from her. When your kid, hopefully you guys know this, but when your kid turns 18 in the States, the parents do not have control over their medical treatment. They can advise, but they do not have control unless they have a power of attorney. Typically, states and counties will take that in consideration. Let's say that, let's say your 18, 19-year-old kid's on life support. Hey, mom and dad, what do you want to do? So it'll be a consensus. But other than that, you really don't have any power anymore. Once they're an adult, you do not have control over what you thought you did, unless you have a power of attorney that the state and the court have given you. I got a buddy whose kid has Down syndrome. He's 23, very functioning Down syndrome child. Who's going to live with them forever, one of either of the parents. He'll go back and forth for the rest of his life. But if something happens to him, they had to get a power of attorney, even for a disabled child. Billy the Goat says, throw out the ex's crap, no momentum. That's another thing. Get rid of anything that reminds you of the ex. Now, I have a couple pieces of furniture that I still have that was in our family house, but I don't really look at them because I bought them. But it doesn't bother me. But, once I'm done with them, that'll be even better. But if there's shit that reminds you of her or what have you, get rid of it. Like us gave up after 5 marriages. Now he's a total lib. Absolutely great advice. When your ex broke up with you, were you thinking of breaking up with her anyways? And well, I was thinking, I knew the marriage would eventually end. We just didn't like each other, but I didn't want it to end when it ended because, I had young kids. Well, I had a 13 and 16, almost 14, and a 10-year-old. I was more interested in the marriage staying together for the kids, but now I realize that I'm glad it happened when it did, although the kids are messed up because of it in their own way. Just having male spaces are deemed as toxic, but ladies can bash men and all. Absolutely, Slam. And we're seeing that. The world is not like men. The world wants to make men disposable. In this case, if you've been disposed by an ex, you do not talk to that ex. You're done. You are done. You do not give any more power. Is living in a bubble a bad thing or a good thing? Depends on the bubble. Depends on the bubble. Who has power of attorney on you, Rad? Your parents, kids, and siblings? Nobody, really. Yeah. I should write something that if I'm like a vegetable, Mysterio, do not resuscitate. Thanks, D-Man, for putting that up my channel. Hats off to the Americans in Glendale standing up for the Skittles, against the Skittles. That's some of my homies. Have you been seeing it lately? Now I just saw it today. Cracker Barrel is now getting targeted because they have Skittle chairs. Skittle chairs. It doesn't look good. I mean, you're seeing the Shark Tank guy, Mr. Wonderful, saying these woke boards are really, they're going to have shareholder lawsuits because of this political indoctrination is suffering the bottom line. Target's lost, what, 13 billion from their stock? Bud Light is down, what, 30 billion? Kohl's is now struggling. I mean, the sleeping giant has woke up. They poke the bear too much. The bear is now aggressive. Women are short-term thinkers. They betray and imagine everything will be hunky-dory later on. Couldn't have said that better, Big M. Well said, brother. Timmy Kramer, the forever bachelor, is in Mexico. Men, don't get married. Enjoy life. Why is that so difficult? We think, if you guys really want to listen to some good stuff during the day, listen to Tom Likas. Tom Likas is, and even though he's 20, he's a fat guy and he's a libtard now, but he had some really great information for guys saying, look, enjoy life and quit putting the sleeve of wizard on a pedestal. Quit putting her on a pedestal. And it's funny, I was listening this morning, he'll have these women call in and say, I'm a 10. And he'll just tell them, you nasty mouth, You bring nothing to the table. Nothing. Great, you're pretty to look at. But do you really perform like you say? And after everybody, it's ridiculous that men, we continue. And at one point I was in that position, especially going through divorce. We raise them on an elevated pedestal. But try to understand that their genitals are not the holy grail of life. How about that? All right, Bob's going to be back. We got they're always well behaved before marriage. Yeah. Oh, I'm watching a new series called Addicted to Marriage. It's on Hulu. And it's about these people that have been married 4, 5, 10, 11 times, and they keep going through marriage. Again, another experiment in delusion. 97% of all my exes past flings and hookups. They always come crawling back somewhere down the line. They even have long-term boyfriends and hubbies nowadays. Once I'm done with you, I am done with you. FJT laying it down to Chinatown with that. Woke diversity hires screwing up so many businesses. Oh. Again, I did that little short video on my channel about just saying, look, Bud Light hired a diversity employee. They fit a mold, they checked a box, and within 1 year, that person destroyed an iconic brand, and it's never coming back. All because they wanted to hire an inclusive diversity person. That is not good for business. That is not good for business. They should have stayed put to making beer and selling their beer to their customer base. Again, they missed the boat. It's funny, these woke boards, they don't get it. They're going to try and come back. And how about Garth Brooks? He's a massive libtard too. Apparently, he's opening a bar saying he's going to serve all beers to all people. Who's going to go into that bar except Skittles? Nick Vincent is back. The Gift of Not Being Wanted, an excellent Ronin Man video on the topic. Well said. Why would you want to talk to somebody that threw you to the curb? That is so disrespectful on oneself. That is so disrespectful to yourself. WHO 346, good morning to you. I hope you are well as well. Good to have you back in the chat. Glendale and Burbank out here in LA have a big Armenian community. Those men will not stand for the Skittles. Oh, no, they won't. No, they won't, Ishi. When I was still married, we separated. She asked if we got a divorce. Could we be friends? I told her we're not friends. I am your husband. Big difference. That's what I said. I said, I'm not your friend. In fact, if anything, we're parents. We're not even co-parents anymore. We're done. Youngest is now 18, graduated. He is now an adult. We are not co-parents. There's no more parenting. None. We're done. Don't need to talk. Don't need to talk to you. Don't care. In fact, a lot of times, which is interesting, WHO or WHO 346, over the years, she would text me, her family members, like her aunt or uncle, her aunt died or uncle died or somebody died in our old neighborhood. She would send me messages and I would respond. Oh, Jesus, so sorry. Now I don't even respond. I won't even go to the funeral. Why? I've had a couple exes come back for me just before they were to marry Plan B. One actually picked a fight with my ex-wife. Men, women understand. Women understand women, and they don't like each other. Well said. Women do not like each other. 99% of women are all combative against each other. They all compete against each other. And I think it goes back to programming. Did you ever get a chance to skate in Europe? Italy was dope, and Spain I did while I was in the Navy. Unfortunately, Wolf, I've never been to Europe. But I have skateboarded in Venezuela and Mexico. I have one picture of his mother and my son for him because he never knew her, leaving when he was 8 months. She passed. And I think in that regards, absolutely, Sam. I mean, your ex-wife is the mother of your child, and he should have a link to her. But you're never going to talk to her again, right? So in that case, you honor the memory for your son. So I think that is definitely an honorable thing to do. If you entertain the return of the ex, expect to get punished even worse than before. Never take an ex back. Never take an ex back. Ever, ever, ever. Do not bathe in dirty water. Do not eat out of a garbage can. Fleming Larson. Thank you, brother. Tell me where you are from. Appreciate you in the chat. I was lurking earlier making breakfast. Ham and eggs for 300 Trebek. Sunflower from Beaverton, Oregon. I can't wait for the shareholder lawsuits. Hello to you. It's going to happen. Elon Musk is talking about it. I had to go no contact due to her being bored at BPD. Yep. I don't, again, there's no reason for me to talk ever again. So if there's, and I got to think, the next big milestones will be if hopefully my kids, if they marry, I don't want them to, or there's a child that's born. I'm going to have to figure out how to deal with that. I'll probably go, like, if a child is born to one of my kids down the road in 10 years, I'll probably go to the hospital, when the ex-wife is not there, or, at a time when she's not around. Hammerhand putting many hours in. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Here, Polska, Air 304, page cannot load. Attaboy. Billy the Goat, never take them back. Don't talk to them. It only gets worse. Yes, don't talk to them. They're not your friends. They don't care about you. And why should you care? That you move on. You close that page. Because men, again, this is why men go and talk to their exes, and this is why they spend time. Their emotional tampon. They have experience, and they still are trying to withdraw from that emotional bank account, which we know does not exist. You know why I know that? Because at one point in Rad's life, 7, 8 years ago, I tried that. And I'm telling you, it doesn't work. And it shouldn't work. And then you begin to respect yourself, saying, you know what? This person disregarded what I brought to the table. Done. Let me be a little recurring character in your YouTube called Horrors from a Pediatric ED. I have all kinds of stories. That would be a great live stream issue. You and I should do one. It's funny when people sell marriage to me, they say things like, I've been married to my wife for 7 years. She's my soulmate. You just have to find the perfect one. Only 7 years, that's still early, yeah. Again, I didn't find out who my wife was until she filed for divorce, which was almost 19 years. Can you believe that? But thank you for that wonderful gift of divorce. I really appreciate that. I do. Not for my kids, but for what it did for me. Difficult time, dark days, but we got through it. I have a few pictures, but only one on the frame, in a frame on a wall. Yeah, keep the good memory for him alive, you know. And it's good. It's great that he didn't have to see you guys bicker and fight back and forth. That is, you have a good story there in the sense that you can raise him knowing, you know, your mother passed away when you were very young, and he doesn't need to know anything else. Redneck Red Pills in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, shout out to Slam for raising his child by himself. That's not easy, guys. That's not easy. I learned this lesson dealing with my ex. If I can't hurt your feelings while caring for you, there is a problem. Well said, brother. They don't have any right to earn your support, time, and friendship. They just want to use you after they sink you. Ooh, laying it down to Chinatown on that one. Well said, Wolf. Well said. Why would you want to go back to them after they sunk your battleship? But so many do. So many do. And they get even in a worse situation. I got a good laugh. I'm married to my soulmate. That's funny. A soulmate. What the hell is it? Soulmate's an invention of Hallmark cards. When people tell you to get married, they're stepping over the line. It would be like us telling them to get divorced. People need to make their own decisions. I got a buddy telling me, you need to be humble. You need to quit living. You need to find a lady and get married. No, I've already done that. Rad, now a free man. Basically, yeah, if you think about it. What does your ex expect from you? That you can be friends? It's not like she tried to save the marriage. She thinks she could talk to me. I should show you my text messages. There's like 6 of them. No responses back. And she said at one point, would you talk to me? It's about our daughter. My daughter's 24. I don't need to talk to her. Good to see David Smith in the house. Another OG in the chat. You're doing well, David. Men and women can't be friends unless they provide a service for one another. We can't be friends. There's no such thing as being friends with your ex. Just like there's no such things as multiple genders. This kid named Blank Lopez fights tonight. 25-year-old is getting F by a marriage being played out live. He fights tonight. He will be defeated by a lesser fighter because his head is F. Yeah. What does Floyd Mayweather do before his fights? He cuts all women off 9 months before he fights. No women, no sex, no intimacy, no talking to women. So his head is in the game. We'll have to see what happens to Lopez issue. Can anyone really vet a wife? I don't have the same problem when it comes to friends. I don't think you can really vet your wife. You know, you hear the story. There's so many stories. One marriage was one too many. There's so many stories of people that lived together for 14 years. Then they tie the knot, and 4 months later, they're divorced. That should tell you something. They don't know their wives. I think you can know your husband, let's say 80%. I mean, men are we're pretty, I don't think we change as much as ladies change. There are whacked out dudes that are mental, and there's not that, women need to understand not all men are great either. So there's a lot of douchebags out there. Get free. Women want us to compromise, but they don't want to compromise themselves. Well, of course, that's the victim mentality. Female privilege, guys, is a thing. Females have a lot of privilege in society. Go to the courts, right? There's now companies that have to hire a percentage that are female, a percentage that are of a different race, which goes against everything Martin Luther King talked about. Martin Luther King said, hire the person based on merit. Who's the better person for the job, regardless of what they look like? Why do rings need to be $2,000? $2,000? Talk about 20 grand, Mysterio. I spent $5,000 in 1996 on my ring for her. Thanks for the ability to share with brothers. Absolutely, Slam. Check out Slam's stuff as well. Rad, it's preferable to have a relationship with your soulmate, not your cellmate. There you go. Good to see SCE in the house. Check out SCE's channel. I made the mistake of going back to an ex. Ultimate simp move. It makes you look weak and is never worth it. When you go back to somebody that disregarded you or disposed of you, you have no respect for yourself, and she double disrespects you or triple disrespects you, and you look weak. Well said, David. 100%. Your biology will crush you unchecked. Guys got to control our biology. The testosterone is a powerful, powerful drug. It makes us think and do things that we would never think or do. The reason for the ring to cost engagement or wedding ring so much is for the retainer of the lawyer to take your stuff. You know, it's funny. You buy these rings and they try to pawn them. They give you like 5 cents on the dollar for a stupid ring. Like there's no money in the resale market of stupid rings. They're so dumb if you think about it. Compromise most often means give her everything she wants and sacrifice all of your goals. That's what it means, D-Man. Well said, brother. Well said. Well said. I have survived a shelter experience due to being ill from a bad pharma drug and abusive dad. My ex told me nobody killed you there. She was a rich dad's girl. Wow. Wow. Never been married and no kids, but in today's time, I'm scared to death of the word relationship and marriage because of the way things are today. That's why I'm more into fast cars. That car that you like will always be loyal to you. You'll take care of it. You'll clean it. You'll polish it. You'll love it. And that'll give you everything in return. Marriage puts stress and high expectations on the marriage. Well said. Let's see what we got here. As you said, don't quit, persevere. Mysterio says, so your ex would have to text you about some medical involving your kids for you to respond. It'd have to be very drastic. And my other two would probably text me before that. Right? There's Cave's channel. All right. Pascal said, all of the human problems come from the inability of men to sit quietly alone. Simps create the issues. Well said, Ishi. Guys, learn to be alone. Number one superpower right there. When the MILF at work is the best looking woman at work, you know something is wrong in the marriage. Truth. Do people hurt themselves when they betray, or is it that they are just wishful thinking? Good question. What do you guys think? Big M, great comment. My ex tried to get me to go back to her while we were divorcing. I told her no. It made her temper to really show. Women don't like rejection. If I would have rejected her, if I would have said, I'm divorcing you, I guarantee she would have done everything. It's all psychology. When I finally filed for divorce, I caught her walking up the driveway with her arms crossed and watery eyes. I told her that I couldn't give her absolution, and that was the end of the conversation. Good for you, brother. Share your story online. Early today, young Indian women asked me if I'm married. I said no. She said, oh, that's sad. I said, no, it ain't. FJT lays it down to the Indian girl. It's giving a cheater a free pass back into the kingdom, taking one back. Never bathe in dirty bathwater. Never get in a sinking boat. Bull, boom, bear, bust channel selling gold. He stores you in a secret location. Interesting. I'll have to check that out, Joar. Contrast your dating period with your ex versus the actual marriage. Yep. That car will keep you warm and dry, cool and dry more than your wife. Yes, it will. Will women ever make me a home-cooked dinner, says Timmy. Well, if they did, Timmy, I think it would be garbage because you make the better. Timmy makes amazing food on his grill. Nothing would come close. My ex-wife was a very good cook. I will say that. She cooked great. She cooked from scratch. She made great dinners. She always cooked. I got lucky. I got the emotional and the mental challenge in my marriage from her. That car can help you escape a bad situation. Some straggle-daggle probably created it. Yep. Well said, SCE. Well said. It's rare to find a regular weighted woman. The average, they say the average weight of a Western woman, let's say Canada and America, is 170 pounds. That's a big lady. Women should be at 5'2" to 5'4", 100 to 120, right? If they're 5'8", 150 makes sense. Maybe 160. Why do most women think it's okay to have male friendship while in a relationship or marriage? They love the attention. They love the attention. MJT78 is back. Good to see you. Oh, guess who we got? Father Saunders is in the house. Good to see our brother Father. Did a monstrous stream, last week for multiple hours. I think it was still going on at like 11 in the morning. Good to see Father. You want to hear about Father's story? And he came out swinging. Good to see you, brother. Hope all is well out in your neck of the woods. Keep on boxing. Put up your videos with your boy. I mean, he's another channel selling gold you don't hold. His people hold it for you. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Slam's going to be number 4-5 tomorrow. Happy birthday to Slam. Good for you, brother. Shit, you don't look 45. Author 7 books. I was watching a video earlier. I noticed, Jawara. I noticed even the fat Japanese women is thin compared to Western women. You know what? There's the microwave cooks the food. Actually, the fast food industry cooks the food. Everything's done for them. There's no reason to do anything, right? Father Saunders, I was still up at 5 a.m. You're all a bad influence. It's not my actions that need to be taken into account. I identify as non-accountable. Non-accountable for 300, Trebek. Well said, Father. 170 pounds. 5'4" is the average. There you go. 175, 5'4", says SCE. Check out Father's channel. Off topic, but it seems that Mexican Americans to America keep their traditional value. I think so. I think a lot of them do. Mexico has Mexican Latin American influence. Value the family. They value the grandparents. They respect them. Where here we don't. We don't respect family in the West. Yeah, well, happy birthday to Slam and hope he has a great day tomorrow. Feed your face with some yum yum food. 175, guys. You know they got tiggle bitties on that. I'm still banging a Polish lady upstairs in my place. Well, as long as there's a contractual agreement between you two, go for it. It's a pet sleeve. It's a pet peeve whenever someone projects that you're going to be lonely. Oh, that's such BS. I just traveled to another country and people have fear in their eyes when I tell them I'm a solo traveler. People can't be alone, FJT. They're afraid. It's the best thing in the world. Success is the greatest revenge. Success isn't always money. Make your space look nice. Keep fit. Women age like milk. At age 50, a man can pull a 30-year-old. They can't say the same. Men have a great opportunity ahead if they get their head straight. That's absolutely for sure. I don't exist till the afternoon, says Father. Yeah, you're up late, brother. You and Polska. Quit waffling. 44 next month for Father. Oh, I thought Father was, I thought he was late 30s, early 40s. We used to say more the pushing for the cushion. Now it's suffocating. You don't want to be what's under with all that weight. At 175 is thin for a man, but for a woman. No bueno is what they say. Let's see. Mysterio says, don't quit. I was friends with a female friend I met in high school and she got married. She's divorced now. There was no problem. Once married and picking up a new opposite sex friend is tricky. Look, the opposite has different genitalia. We have different genitalia. Most likely, 99% of guys that are friends with girls want to hit them or vice versa. It's like wearing nothing at all. There you go. Yeah, happy birthday to our birthday boys in the chat. Let's see, we've got all these teachers. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing it all over, the teachers that are pulling these kids, especially female teachers. At 140 pounder, 140 pounder is fat in the East. Yes, well said. Alone and lonely are two different dynamics in life. 100%. Lonely is seeking external validation. Being alone, we're all alone, every single one of us. Being lonely is thinking you need to be around someone to exist. You don't. Well said, Mr. Old Balls is my nickname. I like it. I'm good with it. There you go, Old Balls. All these white hairs and wrinkles I wear proudly. I earned the F out of them. Hell yeah, you did. And respect here at Memorial Day for all of our vets, as Father Saunders is one of our vets. Appreciate that. He should get the month, not these Skittles. Programming through TV and social media destroyed the family. Please, plus pushing religion away. I think reality TV is the biggest downfall, and then cell phones. What say ye? Mysterio says, what's the weather like in Utah? It's going to be 79, 80. I'm going to ride the bike here around another half hour and then chill out the rest of the day. Most new friends that come into my life are male. New women in my life are romantic prospects. There, boy. At least you know, and you can, there's so many guys that become friends with women because they want eventually to have their turn. Get it? There you go. Thanks for sharing that, Polska. We got JLM's in the house. Good to see JLM. Absolutely. Howdy to you, brother. Respect all of our vets. Smurf phones, not good. There you go. You can track a lot of the downfall of society to the release of the smartphone. Well said. 100%. Because you could hide in the smartphone. You could hide your desires. You could text people. Women want to live Sex and the City and Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, they do. Facebook and the cell phone was the demise of my marriage. Most people aren't actually lonely until someone else tells them they are. It's pure pressure, said David Smith. Man, I've been to movies by myself. I've been to concerts. I've traveled to other countries by myself. I don't understand people that get all wackadoodle. You're well said, David. They do. Hey, how come you don't have a lady with you eating? Because I want peace, quiet, and freedom. 81-year-old Martha Stewart. Yes, she was on it. Jeez. Again, pushing the narrative that the wall doesn't exist, right? You've ever been to Mexico? Multiple times. I think I've been 9 times. That's where I almost moved. Beautiful place. Yep. Just there in February, brother. Mexico's wonderful. I'm still planning to get out. Still planning to move that route. Sharon Stone is now looking to settle down. Isn't that wow, what a surprise. Sharon Stone at 65, she looks like she's 20. Slam Cave. I had to tell my boy to watch out for predators of either gender. Wasn't like that in the 80s. Yeah. Yeah, keep your eye on that, boy. There's some wackadoodle stuff going on. A lot of grooming out there. Kenny McCormick says, social media, cell phones ruin natural potential possible relationship. Oh, yeah. And people say, Rad, it's going to go back when there's a potential EMP or, a world war. No, it's not. Programming is already embedded into modern day society's thinking. Martha Stewart. Don't trust her when she says he's my friend. He's like a brother to me. I personally bang some of the female friends and sisters. Attaboy. Oh, yeah. I've done it. Peace, quiet, and freedom for 300 Trebek. I so miss the 80s and the early 90s. It was a different world back then, guys, especially if you're in your mid 40s and up. 20,000-year-old vampire. Vampire. We should do a stream on vampires, the modern day vampire. No women more beautiful than my peace and quiet. And if you can get to that point, as Father says, you got a great life. You got a great life. You have to overlook the beauty and the in Spanish is cariño, the charm of a lady. Men have to, but they don't. 98% of men do not look past that. They bathe in the charm of women. Again, we got a 304 error, says Bob. Social programming, government equals control, menses, mind, mental, literally mind control. Absolutely. Even people on their social media. That's why I don't do social media. All I do is YouTube, is the fact that it's all fed to you, content, subconsciously. T-Mobile still supports 2G talk and text on dumb phones. Wow, they're still going. I know apparently there's quite a few people that are moving back to dumb phones. Only way if the EMP or nuke and lasted 3 generations. Yep, it'd have to do that. Well said, Who 346. It'd have to eradicate itself after 3 generations. Does sexy on women have an age limit? I say 20 to maybe early 70s at best, with 20 to 50 as the major age. I think there's women in their 50s that are attractive, but youth is youth, right? Do I still date for women for fun? Says Get Free. Well, I'm not a monk. Rad, should you go see the new? I haven't even seen the first Transformers, so probably no. Rad is responsible for my release of recent vids and streams. Rad is to blame, guys. Oh, I take full accountability, Father, for that. The hardware has endless varieties, but the software is always the same no matter where you go. Well said. Air 304, page cannot load. That is the truth. The software is the same. The hardware might look different, but it's still the same software. Personal space, peace, quiet is the best thing in life for us single men. Well said, Kenny. Live it, breathe it, love it. Am I reading anything today? I haven't read anything recently. Best thing I did was turn my TV off, no news and nothing. I have a TV I haven't turned on for 11 years. Well, the kids turned it on, but ever since I moved out, I think I turned it on to play a video game. I think I watched Super Bowl on it. That's it. I don't watch TV. Waste of time. I do like some Netflix shows. I don't know if you call that TV, but I don't keep it on and just watch channels all day long. Told them to stay away from ones with baby rabies. Yes, stay away from the baby rabies. They made a Transformer. How is that possible? I don't know how machines had blank. Guys, delusion for 300, JLM. It's just they're trying to find more and more ways to make people believe their way. We're not giving into their fantasy or their delusional state of mind. I have no interest in women at my age, says Father, just insufferable twats. Yeah. Hit and quit. Not wrong. Not wrong. He's not wrong. Why they need to be married in early 20s so when they get to looking like a sea hag in their 50s, men remember when they look good. I think a lot of people get married when they're young. I did because we're dumb. We don't know any different. In your 50s, who would do that? Why would a 50-year-old go back and get married after being married? Don't understand it. Not anything right now, Mysterio. Rad is right about stopping communication with your ex. Let it go unless you have children with her like some of us, fortunately. Yep. Do not talk to them. And I literally do not have to talk to the ex anymore. Literally. If I need to know information on one of my kids, I could call one of my other kids. There's no such thing anymore. They're adults, all of them. They're no minors. There's a movie called The Whale that I will watch. I did watch The Whale. I wanted to see what the hype was about. The people who do prawn look diseased shortly after. The curse of God. Consequences. Choices have consequences, don't they, Wolf? A lot of those prawn stars delete themselves too. Live on your terms, gentlemen. No three-way contacts with the states. Unsubscribed from usury. Well said, D-Man. I have no cable. I just surf YouTube content like music and rad. I still have Netflix. You can look at there's a lot of there's a lot of sites there. You don't even have to have those subscriptions. I was 38 when I divorced for 17 long years, married, never again, no dating, no stress. I was married, let's see, 18 and a half years when she filed, then 19, and then it was finalized technically on paper. 37 when father got divorced. Yeah, it happens. Late 30s, early 40s when it happens. Who needs Netflix chicks when you got YouTube for free? Lots of great educational content on YouTube. I like to watch quantum physics. I like to watch old skateboarding videos. I like to watch mountain bike. I like to watch videos about different countries, different cultures, different experiences. And I love to watch Delusion at sometimes. I now live as a hermit and I only leave the property once a week. Well, as long as you have happiness, peace, quiet, and freedom, brother. 14 years, Father Saunders. And Father Saunders adopted her kid or kids. I don't know if it was one or two. And then had 3 or 4 more with her. And then she still pulled the old I'm not happy card. I was never an Andrew Tate supporter, but he definitely lost me when we talked about banging Transformers. Yeah, that was, people ask me, do you like Tate? And I'm like, don't really have anything to compare him to because, again, he was never married. He doesn't have, I don't know if he has kids, but at least he wasn't married. I don't think he's gone through a divorce. And then apparently, Transformers. That's disgusting. A Transformer is a man. The only thing I watch is anime. It hasn't gone woke yet. David Smith, I've seen what in anime type, what they do. I never saw the draw for me. And I'm not saying I don't know how people, I don't know if you guys like how it's drawn and or the storylines or what, but it's interesting. A lot of people like it. Jawara is winning 100%. I was with my ex-wife for 15 years, says Mr. E. A lot of us have. I do my walks, but I rarely leave my house except for food. It sure keeps expenses down. Peace, quiet, and freedom. I think walks are great, guys. Makes you can think. And anytime put on some tunes and just enjoy life. Father Flounders had an entire basketball team of kids. Yes, he did. Saw that? Yes, he did. Yeah, I adopted boys and had some of my own. Don't do it. It's always an honorable as a young man. And men need that male figure. It rarely does it work out. Well said, Father. But you still have great relationships with your adopted kids, and you were the man in their life. You were more of a father or a parent than your ex. There's FJT's channel. Subscribe to him. I like Tate's machismo, but some of the things was off the wall, like his, Bugatti. Yeah, guys, cars don't mean shit. Just get a reliable Toyota or Japanese car that ain't going to break down, or if you know how to work on GM products. Who cares about these supercars? I live on a small 1-acre fenced-in ranch. Attaboy. 6 kids Father's got. I'm like my Denver Nuggets trying to reach my personal goals, win a championship. Attaboy. Yep, I'm a Nuggets. I love the fact that they beat Miami. Skittles in Miami. That's where Dwayne Wade came out of. He's Skittle. He's pushing Skittles. Not going to lie, Air Disasters is my favorite show. We got to have favorites in life, Bob. A half squad, a reinforced fire team. There you go. You could probably play a couple games with 6 kids. Successful, mate, brother, mate. Delusional for 300 Trebek. Aliens or demons? Don't believe this psyop stuff in the news. Wolf says, one thing Tate said I'll agree is when he said men want exclusivity with their ladies. I completely agree. Yeah. I mean, look, everyone has said decent things. Even Donovan Sharp has said some things that are true, right? Richard Cooper, Rolla Tomasi. You got to take it with a grain of salt. That little ranch, Jawara, he's killing it with all of his book sales. Well, guys, this has been a great stream. I am going to go out and enjoy my Saturday and get sweaty and ride my bicycle. I'll probably run into a rattlesnake or two. And you guys, remember, don't talk to your ex and do something today for yourself. Happy birthday to Slam. Happy birthday to Father next month. And we'll be back. I'm struggling with the Toyota thing because only supercars attract the sleuths. Well, they only attract it and they only want them for one reason. So it is what it is. Peace out, guys. Thanks for being here. Rebel against defeat.